When you need to build up your team to handle the growing chaos at work, use Indeed Sponsored Jobs. It gives your job post the boost it needs to be seen and helps reach people with the right skills, certifications, and more. Spend less time searching and more time actually interviewing candidates who check all your boxes. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. That's Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need a hiring hero? This is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs.
Study and play come together on a Windows 11 PC. And for a limited time, college students get the best of both worlds. Get the Unreal College Deal. Everything you need to study and play with select Windows 11 PCs. Eligible students get a year of Microsoft 365 Premium and a year of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate with a custom color Xbox wireless controller. Learn more at windows.com/student offer. While supplies last. Ends June 30th. Terms at aka.ms/collegepc.
I've been to Rome several times. Amanda and I even experienced this incredible city together with our parents once, a couple of years ago. But this trip was completely different because for the first time, I wasn't seeing Rome through my own eyes. I was seeing it through the eyes of our children. And it reminded me that sometimes the greatest adventure isn't discovering a new place, it's rediscovering a familiar one. This is Summit After the Storm podcast, and I'm Bart Wilbanks. One of the greatest gifts of traveling with children is they notice things you stop noticing. As adults, we tend to move from one landmark to the next, checking boxes and sticking to the itinerary. Children don't travel that way. They stop. They stare. They ask questions. They wonder. And sometimes along the way, they remind us how to wonder again. Walking through Rome, I realized I wasn't just revisiting places that I'd seen before. I was watching my children experience them for the first time. The Colosseum wasn't just another stop on the itinerary. It was massive. The Roman Forum wasn't just ancient ruins. It was a place where history suddenly became real. Even simple things, gelato, pizza, the fountains, the narrow streets, the sounds of the city, were new to them. I found myself slowing down. Instead of thinking about what was next, I was watching what was happening right in front of me. The excitement on their faces reminded me of something I had forgotten. Wonder is contagious. Sometimes we don't need a new destination. We need new eyes. It's easy to let familiarity steal our appreciation. The places we live, the people we love, even our faith. Over time, extraordinary things can begin to feel ordinary. Children have a remarkable ability to reverse that. They remind us that there is still beauty to notice and still questions worth asking. Climbing Kilimanjaro changed the way that I looked at mountains. Traveling through Rome with children changed the way I look at history. The mountain taught me perspective, but seeing our children in Europe taught me wonder. Both reminded me that growth isn't always about going somewhere you've never been. Sometimes it's about seeing something that you've already experienced through fresh eyes. Matthew chapter 18, verse 3, Jesus said, "Unless you change and become like little children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven." I've often thought that meant humility, and it certainly does. But maybe it also means maintaining that sense of wonder. Children expect to be amazed. Adults often expect to be impressed, and there's a difference in those two things. One of the greatest dangers in leadership is believing you've seen it all. We stop asking all the same questions. We stop listening. We stop being curious. Sometimes we stop growing. But great leaders intentionally look at familiar problems with fresh eyes. Sometimes the newest person on the team notices what the veteran has stopped seeing, because curiosity is a leadership's advantage. I've been to Rome before, but in many ways, this was my first visit. Not because the city had changed, because I had. And because I had the privilege of watching our children discover a place that had once captured my imagination. Maybe that's one of life's greatest gifts. Not constantly searching for new places, but never losing our ability to see familiar places with wonder. If this resonated with you, follow the podcast on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, YouTube, or whatever platform you're listening on, and share it with someone who could use a fresh perspective. And you can learn more about my book, this podcast, and the movement at summitafterstorm.com. And until next time, keep climbing. Poly poly.